In real life, 240 miles is a long way. Over the internet, distance is irrelevant.
You realize 240 miles really isn't all that far. You just, you're thinking, does this creep have any idea where we live?
Jason Strell was that creep. He lived in a one-story house off State Road 933 just outside South Bend. He was married with a toddler. This is where the 38-year-old took control over young girls hundreds of miles away.
She does have a little bit of a low self-esteem, and she likes it when people, you're pretty, you're beautiful.
This is Sarah. She and her daughter live in a small Ohio town called Galleon. We aren't showing her face or using her real name because her daughter, Lizzie, is the victim of a sex crime. Lizzie didn't want to talk.
She was in fear of her life, I believe that, from what she's even told me. She was afraid that he was going to come find her.
Lizzie met Strell in a chat room when she was 13 years old. Over time, Lizzie trusted him enough to text him naked pictures of herself. But he wanted more. When she was 15, Strell started threatening her. Sarah didn't know anything about it.
He would threaten to make websites and expose her on national websites with the pictures that he had already gotten if she didn't send him more. She really believed he would do that.
In one text message, he said, "The more I think about it, the more I feel you played me a fool. I'm not sure how yet, but I will use pics to make example of you. Have a nice day." It's the textbook definition of sextortion. Lizzie went to her counselor, who then went to her mom. They went to Galleon police.
As a mother, that's the worst thought in the world, or one of the worst thoughts, is your daughter, her body exposed to the world, because that should be private.
Investigators tracked Strell to northern Indiana, so they contacted St. Joseph County Police. Cyber Crimes Unit Detective Phil Williams went to Strell's house and talked to the man behind it all.
He would sit at the computer basically all day, is what I remember him telling me, and he'd go into different chat rooms, and that's how I met him.
Turns out Lizzie was not Strell's only victim, but because she came forward, police were able to find 4 others in Illinois, Ohio, and Michigan. Strell even threatened one girl that he was going to blow up her car because she had sex with him once, but refused to do it again.
He exploited their insecurities. Most of the girls that he was in contact with were kids from broken families, or the kids were insecure about themselves for some reason, and he would pick up on that, and he would use that to his advantage, making them feel good.
The internet is full of Jason Strells.
Unit leader Eric Temashasky says sextortion is a huge, growing problem.
They'll invest months of time befriending somebody online and then just systematically just moving the line back. Can I have a picture of you from school? Wow, that's so nice. Can I have a picture of you out with your friends? Wow, that's great. Hey, can I see you in a bikini? Hey, that's great. They're basically removing the clothes one snapshot at a time.
Strell went to prison last year for extortion and enticing a minor to engage in sexually explicit conduct. He died there in June from lung cancer.
After she found out that this guy had passed away in prison, she actually started talking a little more than she ever had in the past, because I think she felt safe at that point. There's not a day he's going to get out of prison and come and get her because she told him.
Today, Lizzie is 17. The high school senior is looking at colleges and trying not to let her past as a victim define who she is.
Now he's dead, and if you're going to ask me if I'm happy about that, I have to say, it's sad that he had to go out that way, in the way that he did. But on the other hand, he's not going to hurt anybody else, ever.
So as a parent or grandparent, you might be wondering, how do you protect your kids from something like sextortion? First, police say know what your kids are doing. Don't let them go into their bedroom with a computer or cell phone for hours at a time. Also, put your computer in a common area in your house. Know your kids' passwords. Don't let them open up their own accounts. One of the detectives feels so strongly about this. He told me, you wouldn't give your 14-year-old keys to a car, so why would you give them a data phone that could potentially get them into very, very big trouble.
Yeah, good information there. And Kelly, police told you that there are so many of these crimes that there's just not enough of them. They have to pick and choose which ones to investigate.
That's right. The Cyber Crimes Unit in St. Joseph County has 3 detectives. South Bend Police has 1 dedicated to cyber crimes against kids. They tell me it's not nearly enough. In fact, there's lots of child pornography cases that get pushed aside because something like sextortion is often considered much more serious.